श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पाद शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम् अगजाननपद्मार्कं गजाननमहर्निशम् अनेकदन्तं भक्तानाम् एकदन्तमुपास्महे वागीशाद्यास्तु मनसः सर्वार्थानाम् उपक्रमे यं नत्वा कृतकृत्या स्युः तं नमामि गजाननं दोर्भिर्युक्ता चतुर्भिः स्फटिकमणिमयीम् अक्षमालां दधाना हस्ते नैकेन पद्मं हितमपि च सुखं पुस्तकं चापरेण भासा कुन्देन्दुशङ्ख स्फटिकमणिनिभा भासमाना समाना तामे वाग्देवतेयं निवसतु वदने सर्वदा सुप्रसन्ना श्रीराम सौमित्रि जटायुवेद षडाननादित्य कुजार्चिताय श्रीनीलकंठाय दयामयाय श्रीवैद्यनाथाय नमः शिवाय कूजन्तं राम रामेति मधुरं मधुराक्षरम् आरुह्य कविताशाखां वन्दे वाल्मीकिकोकिलं वैदेही सहितं सुरद्रुमतले हैमे महामण्टपे मध्ये पुष्पकमासने मणिमये वीरासने सुस्थिते अग्रे वाचयति प्रभञ्जनसुते तत्त्वं मुनिभ्यः परं व्याख्यान्तं भरतादिभिः परिवृतं रामं भजे श्यामळम् मनोजवं मारुततुल्यवेगं जितेन्द्रियं बुद्धिमतां वरिष्ठं वातात्मजं वानरयूथमुख्यं श्रीरामदूतं शिरसा नमामि नमः पार्वतीपतये हर हर महादेव जानकीकान्तस्मरणं जय जय राम राम श्री जगदम्बिकायै जय जय. Yesterday we decided we will start with questions today. Otherwise, we run short of time at the end. So, whatever questions were there, which were pending yesterday, I think we'll start with them. Vivek. Vivek.
Mama.
We will start with questions.
Questions. அதான் மாமா நேத்திக்கு வந்து நீங்க அந்த ரெஃபரன்ஸ்
yesterday you said
இல்ல அந்த ரெஃபரன்ஸ் வந்தது இது போது பித்ருவாக்கிய அந்த பரிபாலனம் what was the dharmic dilemma that Rama has? As a Rama's doesn't he have to fight for his rights? அது அதுல ஏதாவது கொஞ்சம் தர்ம சூக்ஷ்மம் இருக்கா? How does Rama justify his action that he never challenges his father? That his
we will discuss that. We will discuss that at the end of today's lecture, because today's lecture maybe will answer that question.
Okay. Yeah. That was one question I had.
No, I think you were asking something about Nandi Shraddham.
Nandi, yes. Nandi Shraddham, Mama. Actually, Nandi Shraddham வந்து அதுல வந்து கேள்விப்பட்டிருக்கேன். நாந்தி ஸ்ரார்த்தம் பண்ணா அன்னைக்கு பித்ரு காரியம் பண்ண மாதிரி இருக்கும், நிறைய பேர் அன்னைக்கு சாப்பிட மாட்டா அப்படின்னு. So is that a problem? Because அதனால நிறைய பேர் வந்து நாந்தி ஸ்ரார்த்தம் அந்த டே ஆஃப் ஃபங்க்ஷனே பண்றாளே, அப்ப வந்து யாரையும் கூப்பிட கூடாதா? ஏன்னா நீங்க ஸ்ரார்த்த போஜனம் அது ஒரு I've heard about that also as an issue.
இல்ல அதெல்லாம் ஒண்ணும் கிடையவே. Nothing like that.
Okay.
Nothing like that.
Okay. So இப்ப நாந்தி ஸ்ரார்த்தம் இரண்ய ரூபமா பண்ணா நீங்க வந்து ஆத்ல ஸ்ரார்த்தம் பண்ண மாதிரி அது மாதிரி is that equivalent to that, or
it is equivalent? A lot of
people combine that with vratam and all that.
Yes, so it should be combined. There's nothing wrong. அது வந்து auspicious. It is auspicious. It is an auspicious Nandi Shraddham. It is not like our usual Parvana Shraddham. So it is sanctioned that way. In fact, we use akshata. We don't use til. We don't use til during Nandi Shraddham. We use akshata. And we don't wear Yajnopavita in Prachinaviti mode. We wear it in the normal mode. No, Prachinaviti kadayad. That's what I'm saying. There is Nandi Shraddham is totally different, and it is an auspicious Shraddham. It should be done as part of a normal auspicious Mangala activities. There is no huddle. There is no.
Irka, Mama, practice.
என்ன இருக்கு?
இல்ல எங்கேயா பிராக்டிஸ்ல இருக்கா? because most of the times I've seen during விரதம் 9 பிராமணால வச்சு தட்சிணை கொடுக்குறா. இல்லன்னா சம்டைம்ஸ் இன்னும் சீமந்தம் போது வந்து 2 பிராமணாலே வாங்கிட்டு போயிட்டா. அது தவிர we never have not seen anything done like in அன்னஸ்ரார்த்த மாதிரி பண்றது இல்லை இங்க.
அன்னஸ்ரார்த்த மாதிரி ஒரு காலத்துல பண்ணியிருந்திருப்பாளா இருக்கும். நம்ம காலத்துல விட்டு போயிடுது. இட்ஸ் ஓகே. அட்லீஸ்ட் ஈவன் தட் 9 பிராமணால உட்காந்து வச்சு அரிசி வாழைக்காய் கொடுக்கறது அப்படிங்கிற அட்லீஸ்ட் தட் மச் ஷுட் பி டன். But people are averse to doing even that. They say, no, it was not the practice in our family. This is not auspicious. We will not do. I have heard such objections, very foolish objections. I want to express my total resistance to this kind of thing. That's what I said.
Yeah, this is a lot of new sampradayas create this problem. Pitrula vena, adu vena, idu vena.
Yeah, exactly. Sampradayas should always be with the consent of Srimatham or Shishtacharam, not whatever we think is right.
Yeah, because in my case also I recognize Mama, because Nandi Shrardham இன்னொன்னு அப்பா இருந்தா கூட பண்ணனான்னு ஒன்னும் பிரச்சனை இல்லை, because it is not like unlike the Amavasa Tarpanam or Shrardham where the father only has to work.
Yes. அப்பா இருந்தா கூட பண்ணலாம். You are right, absolutely right. Only thing is
ரொம்ப ஏன்னா நிறைய பேர் பூனல் போடுறச்சே அவ அப்பா இருப்பா, சீமந்தம் பண்ணிக்கிறச்சே அவ அப்பா இருப்பா, அதுக்குன்னு சார்த்தம் பண்ணாம இருக்க முடியாது.
You are inviting the corresponding Pitris. அவ்வளவுதான், வேற ஒண்ணும் இல்லை. பித்ருஸ் ஆவாகனம் பண்ற போது you are inviting the corresponding Pitris. அவ்வளவுதான், வேற ஒண்ணும் இல்லை.
மாமா ஜஸ்ட் டெக்னிக்கல். அவளும் வசு ருத்ர ஆதித்ய அந்த ஸ்தானம் கிடையாதுல, இவ வேற நாந்தி
வேற அவளுக்கு வேற பேர் கொடுத்திருக்கா.
அதுல ரெண்டாவது நாந்தி முக்கானாம் நாந்தி முக்கினாம் மந்திரம் ஞாபகம் இருக்கு எனக்கு. ரெண்டு வர்க்கமா வரும்.
ஆமா, அது 2 மாத்திர வர்க்கம் பித்ரு வர்க்கத்துக்காக.
9 maximum is 9. I think 9 was the required.
9 is the normal number used. 9, yeah, correct.
அதான் நீங்க எதுவும் சொன்னீங்க. You also used another word. நாந்தி பதிலா வந்து இன்னொரு
Abhyudaya Shraddham. It is also called Abhyudaya Shraddham. Yes,
and when எப்பலாம் பண்ணணும்மா நாந்தி ஸ்ரார்த்தம் வந்து? of course ஷஷ்டியப்த பூர்த்தி அந்த மாதிரி
பண்ணலாம். any such ritual, auspicious ritual, you can perform Nandi Shraddham. In fact, we are performing, as I mentioned, we are performing Nandi Shraddham, Vaishnava Shraddham அப்படின்னு சொல்லிட்டு இரண்டு ரூபாய்னு சொல்லிட்டு ஒரு சென்டென்ஸ்ல முடிச்சுட்டு ஒரு வாத்தியார். அது பண்ணிட்டு இருக்கோம், நம்ம தெரியாமே பண்ணிட்டு இருக்கோம். அதை எக்ஸ்பிரஸா பண்ணலாம், அவ்வளவுதான், வேற ஒண்ணு.
சோ இப்ப இந்த இதை பண்றமே அசேஷே ஹே பரிஷத் அதோட பண்றது அப்படியே டிக்னிக் மாதிரி பண்ணிட்டு இருப்பா, நம்மளுக்கு தெரியாது.
எக்ஸாக்ட்லி.
ஓகே, தேங்க்யூ மாமா. ஆக்சுவலி அந்த கிளாரிட்டி கிடைக்கிறது ரொம்ப யூஸ்ஃபுல்லா இருக்கு. தேங்க்யூ மாமா. யா,
ஷூர்.
சாரி, நான் மறந்தே போயிட்டேன் நாந்தி ஸ்ரார்த்தம். தேங்க்யூ ஃபார் ரிமைண்டிங் மீ.
Yeah. So shall we start now?
Absolutely, mama.
Yeah, okay, right. So in Valmiki Ramayana we completed Balakandam yesterday with Rama's wedding with Sita in Mithila. Rama comes back in Ayodhya Kandam. We find that people are extremely happy with Rama's growth. As Rama grows in age, his qualities also are more seen by people. He is more seen among people. He shares the pleasures and sorrows of all the people. He is extremely popular. Then Dasharatha wants to make him Yuvaraja, and then Kaikeyi asks for those 2 boons, and then he is exiled to the forest. Now, afterward, Dasharatha dies, Bharata comes back, and then Kaikeyi addresses him as Raja in the absence of Dasharatha and in the absence of Rama. Now, then Bharata questions Kaikeyi, what happened to Rama? Then the truth is revealed, and then he is asking about what crime did he commit. Then she discloses the 2 boons. Then he calls her Rakshasi. I think we stopped at that point yesterday. Now, after this encounter with Kaikeyi, Bharata was moving towards Kausalya's apartment, and then on the way, Kausalya was coming to meet him. They meet en route, and then Kausalya was in a mood of charging him with a plan to subvert Rama's coronation. She was indirectly mentioning that you are the cause of all this. Then that was the last straw which Bharata could bear. As it is, he was loaded with grief, loaded with disappointment, loaded with the sudden onrush of all these events. Father dying, Rama going on exile, Kausalya, Kaikeyi looking like Rakshasi with having two boons, and so on. So he could not bear this anymore, and then he bursts into a series of vows. This is a famous passage in Ramayana where dharma comes at one of its foremost levels. There are 3 or 4 such passages in Ramayana where dharma comes in a series of verses. A lot of dharmas are brought out by Valmiki in a very, very telling way. Now, 2017 December, there was a Sahasra Bhojanam organized at Vedal near Kanchipuram, and Periyawal wished that all the dharmas in Srimad Ramayana should be compiled and issued in the form of a book, and 1 sloka per day, and it can be completed in a year. That means it should contain 365 slokas, so that 1 sloka can be chanted every day, can be assimilated every day. This was the idea. So this was communicated to me in the first week of November, and it was supposed to be released by end of December. It was an arduous task for me. December first week, Mr. Sethu Ramachandran, who was coordinating, he said, I must get your soft copy, then only I can give it to the printer. I have my own commitments. So I had less than a month for doing this mammoth job of selecting 365 Dharmapara shlokas from 24,000 verses of Ramayana. Luckily, due to Periva's grace, I don't think I would ever have been able to even think of such an assignment. The difficulty of such an assignment was staggering. It was a big challenge. Then luckily, it was completed in time, and at least it was to my satisfaction. And it was luckily to Sri Perival's satisfaction also. The selection of those 365 verses. It was published under the title of Srimad Ramayana Dharma Sangraham. Srimad Ramayana Dharma Sangraham. It was printed and published, and I think copies are available in Srimatham. So those of you who have not seen the book, I would recommend that you get the book and have a look at it. It contains all that is required to know of Dharma covered in Srimad Valmiki Ramayana. And this passage is very important. I am reminded of that in this context. Because Bharata is discussing a lot of dharmas in his vow. What he says, Yasyaryonu mate gataha. That is the refrain in these verses. It comes in every verse. Yasya anumate aryaha gataha. Yasyaryonu mate gataha. With whose permission, Arya means Rama. Rama went to forest. That is, if Rama has gone to forest because of me, whose permission, Anumati means here in this case, the cause. Because of whose cause Rama has gone to forest. Now, if it is me, let these sins accrue to me. He is listing a lot of sins. This is the classic list of sins, highest of sins. Let these sins accrue to me if I am a party to this decision. This is how he starts. Now, the first one he starts with, he says, you have learnt some dharma from Guru, but your intellect does not allow you to follow. That's a very bad luck. Your intellect does not allow you to follow the dharma which you have learnt sincerely from your Guru. This happens because of our evil vasanas. So such evil vasanas, let them accrue to me. Shastranuga buddhihi ma bhutasya kadachana satyasandhas satam shreshto yasyaryo numate gataha. Krita Shastra Anuga Buddhihi Ma Bhutu Tasya Kadachana. At no time let his intellect follow Shastras. He will not be recognized as a Satyasandha, as a follower of truth among Shishtas. Then he is listing a lot of such sins. Fighting war of adharma. sin of eating food without offering to devas and elders. A friend takes you into confidence and tells you something, and you leak that information. This is a great sin. He is listing it as one of the early sins in this list. He says dying without family dharmas and without progeny, that he is listing as a great sin. Dying without following family dharmas and without progeny. See, nowadays there are people who don't even know about their Kuladevam. Now, family dharma here refers to so many of such aspects. Our Perival is insisting on Kuladeva Prarthana. Those who have a Kuladevam, those who have knowledge of their Kuladevam should go to the Kuladevam at least once in a year. That is our traditional practice, and offer Abhishekam and Archana and so on and worship. And those who do not know, there are some indications given by our gurus how to find your Kuladevam. So this is one family dharma. Like this, there are so many other. In our family, we have Varalakshmi Vratam. In your family, you don't have Varalakshmi Vratam. All this kind of thing. You follow your family dharma. Even Panchangam. Our family follows Pamba Panchangam. Your family follows Srimatham Panchangam. You follow your own Panchangam. This kind of family dharmas, traditions, which should be kept up. You are not keeping, and you have died without progeny. That is also a sin. Because if you don't have progeny, in olden days, dying without a son was considered a great sin. And if you don't have a son, what do? You adopt a son. Svikara. This was the practice commonly adopted even last century. We don't have to go far into history for all these things. And then killing of a king, killing of a woman, killing of a child, killing of old man, sale of certain prohibited articles like like wine, like non-vegetarian food, like iron, like poison. These are the worst sins he is listing. Now he says sale of non-vegetarian food. Does it mean that sale of vegetarian food is permitted? No. Sale of no food is permitted, but sale of non-vegetarian food is a higher sin. So he is listing the higher sins. Then running away from battlefield, and then he says, let this sinner, whoever it is, who has permitted my brother to go on exile, suffer ABCD. Now he is listing what he will suffer from. He will beg with torn clothes and with begging bowl. Let him indulge in liquor. Let him indulge in lust. Let him give dhanam to undeserving people. Look at the list of sins. Let him give dhanam to undeserving people and indulge in adharma. Let him incur the sin of sleeping during sandhyas in the morning and in the evening. Sandhya time, nobody should sleep. Let him incur the sin of arson of others' properties, of illicit relations with Guru's wife, of cheating a friend, of not serving devatas, parents, pitrus, of slipping from good karmas, of slipping from esteem of the virtuous. Even that is a sin. Till yesterday I was in the esteem of the virtuous, today I have fallen. That's a sin. Why did I fall? Must be I have committed some grave sin. Sin of polluting the sources of drinking water. Now comes the environment, you see. Sin of polluting the sources of drinking water, of killing others through poison, of spoiling puja dravyas of Vaidikas, of milking cow just to deliver. Look at this. A cow has just delivered and you go and milk that cow. For a certain number of days, I think about 15 days, you are not supposed to milk the cow. It's supposed to be great sin. It is written in Shastras. Of denying water to the thirsty, of siding with injustice in case of a dispute. Look at this. Giving false evidence in court, siding with injustice, and so on. Of kicking sleeping cows. You are supposed to worship cow, and you go and kick a sleeping cow. Of denying proper wages to workers. Of denying proper dakshina during yaga. Of forgetting the subtle teachings of the Guru. Guru, in his compassion, teaches you certain things in a very subtle manner, which he has not taught to others. That if you forget, that's a great sin. So, like this, I have mentioned only a few. In fact, Bharata is even more sin. And every, more or less, all the verses repeat this refrain, Yasyaryona mate gataha, by whose will this my brother went on exile, you know. Then on hearing this list of vows, Kausalya was stunned. She pacified him, she took him on her lap, she embraced him and then comforted him. Then Bharata completed the obsequies of his father, Aparakriyas of his father as guided by Vasishta. 13-day rituals were done, lot of dhanam was given, and at that time, naturally, his grief knew no bounds. Normally, everybody sheds tears during Aparakriya. Shastra says the son should not shed tears during Aparakriya. It is prohibited. But it's common practice to shed tears, but you have to control yourself. Shedding tears is not permitted for the karta. Now here he is wailing. Manthara prabhavastivra kaikeyi graha sankulaha varadana mayokshobhyo amadya shoka sagaraha. This Kaikeyi is Varadana. It's a shoka sagara. It's a veritable ocean of sorrow. That is how she has landed the whole family in sorrow by a simple Varadana, asking for boons. And she used the tool of Manthara. Manthara prabhavas tivra. Kaikeyi graha sankulaha. Graha is crocodile. Kaikeyi behaved like a crocodile in this ocean of sorrow. Bharata even expressed a wish to enter fire at this stage. Vasishta and other ministers stopped him in time. And then Shatrughna, now comes Shatrughna's turn. Shatrughna says he was wondering why Lakshmana did not imprison the king. In fact, Lakshmana offered to imprison the king. We know that. We have seen that. But Shatrughna did not know that. Now he is asking Bharata, why did Lakshmana not imprison the king? He is of such a nature. He is very powerful. He is normally given to this kind of temperament. Why did he not do that? Of course, nobody could give an answer to that. Nobody was there to answer his question. He was asking himself. Then Shatrughna wanted to kill Manthara, who was passing that way. Then Kaikeyi came and protected Manthara. Then Shatrughna taunted Kaikeyi, who took shelter under Bharata now. Kaikeyi took shelter under Bharata now. Now Bharata said, now you want to kill Manthara, I want to kill Kaikeyi myself, Bharata said. I want to kill Kaikeyi myself. The only thing that stops me and you from not giving force to our wishes is that Rama will disown us totally. That is the only fear that I have. He is expressing it very nicely. Look at the way Dharma is expressed. Avadhya sarva bhutanam pramadaha kshamyatam yati. Women are avadhya sarva bhutanam. They are not to be killed under any circumstances. That's what Shastra says. Kshamyatam. They should always be pardoned. Hanyamahamimam papam kaikeyim dushtacharineem. Left to me, I will kill this Kaikeyi. Yadimam dharmiko raman asyoye and matrughatakam. So I will become a killer of mother. So Rama will dharmikaha Ramaha. He is a follower of dharma. So he will disown me. So if he does not disown me, I would have done that. That is how he puts his statement. Imam apihatam kubjam yadi janati raghavaha. If Rama knows that you have killed Manthara, not Kaikeyi, even Manthara, Tvamcha mam chaiva dharmatma nabhibhashishyate dhruvam. He will disown both of you, both of us, you and me. He will not talk to us for life. Na abhibhashyate dhruvam. This is certain, he says. This is how Rama's greatness is brought out by Bharata. Then Bharata was asked to become king. He refused. He wanted to go to Chitrakoot and bring Rama back. He wanted to take his army with him. He wanted to take his mothers with him. He wanted to take Vasishta and other ministers with him. So he big retinue. So he had to organize the roads, water supply. All this is discussed nicely. He had to organize good roads, good water supply, etc. On the way to Chitrakoot. All this was done. The large army proceeded. They first encountered Guha. Guha mistook Bharata, Bharata's intent. He thought Bharata has come to fight with Rama and kill him. So he went and directly inquired Bharata, what is your purpose? What have you come here for? Bharata, instead of giving an answer straight to that question, he asked Guha, where did Rama sleep? I want to see that place. Then Guha showed him that patch of grass where Rama, he could not control himself. Bharata wailed and wept. Now, this Bharata's wailing and weeping was the answer to Guha's question. So, that's very nicely brought out. Katham yandīvarashyāmo raktākṣah priyadarshanaha sukhabhāgīna dukkharhaha shaito bhuvi rāghavaha. How did he, who has been sleeping on nice beds in the palace, how did he sleep on this grass, bare grass? Then on the spot, Bharata decided to wear jata, matted dresses. And then he decided to spend the time in the forest. No, he will not go back to Ayodhya. That's what he decided. Then they go to Bharadwaja's ashram. Bharadwaja also has the same doubt. He asks also Bharata directly. Bharata wept. Bharata weeping was the answer. And he, because he is a rishi, he has to be respected. So he gives a proper answer. He says, Aham titam naravyaghram upayata prasadakaha. I have come to request him to come back to Ayodhya. Pratinetum Ayodhyayam padau chasya vivanditum. I want to worship his feet and request him to come back. Now, Bharadwaja gave him a very grand reception. Apsara, Gandharva, all that is described very nicely. It's a departure from the atmosphere of sorrow, atmosphere of gloom. Bharata was entertained to a big feast and so on. Then, while introducing his mothers to Bharadwaja Rishi, he referred to Kaikeyi in very demeaning terms. Then Bharadwaja comforted him and said, don't speak like that. Everything will turn out to be for good. Rama's banishment will also result in happiness. Don't worry. That is what Bharadwaja said. And then now Valmiki takes us to Rama's place. Rama is telling Sita in Chitrakoot, Idamevamritam prahu rajñi rajarshaya pare vanavasam bhavarthaya pretyame prapitamaha. It has been a tradition in our royal lineage to spend some time in the forest. Bhavarthaya, it is for our good. It is for our good that we spend some time in the forest. Rajarshayaha pare, all Rajarshis in our lineage, in our family, have done this. Idameva amrutam, this is like amrutam for us. Then, while talking to Sita, he spotted some dust rising at a distance. Lakshmana also saw, Lakshmana went up a tree, he saw a big army coming from treetop. He thought Bharata has come with an army in order to kill Rama. And he said so openly to Rama. Rama said, don't be in a hurry, don't come to any hurried conclusion, just be quiet. Let us welcome Bharata, let us see what he has come here for. Then Bharata came near, he left his army behind, he left even gurus behind, he came all alone, he came running, he came rushing. Seeing Rama at a distance, he fell down. He could not lift himself up. Rama went near him and lifted him up and embraced. All this is described very nicely. Bharata wept and expressed great sorrow, and he said, everything has happened because of me. He was feeling extremely guilty. Now comes the famous Kachit Sarga in Ayodhya Kanda. Rama is asking a lot of questions. Every question is starting with Kachit. Kachit means it's a question. Has this happened? So it is mainly about royal duties as a king. After all, he has not been king even, he has been king only for a few days. But this is the time when Valmiki is bringing out Rama's great oratory on how a king should behave. Now that he is teaching us. Kachit vinaya sampannaha kulaputro bahushrutaha anasuyuhu anudrishta sakrutaste purohitaha. Have you got Purohita? Already there is a Purohita called Suvegna. Valmiki is mentioning that. Now, is your Purohita endowed with qualities of humility? Is he coming from a good family? Is he very learned? Is he not suffering from asuya, from jealousy? Anudrashta, if he is able to work with you, has he got a common vision? Satkritaste Purohitaha, such a Purohita is he being respected by you? Now he is listing the qualities of Purohita and he is asking whether you are respecting such a Purohita. First comes the question of appointing a good Purohita. It applies to all Grihasthas. We should have a good Purohita and we should respect him. Then, see, first question is about Purohita. Next question is about Agni. Look at the religious significance of the questions. He's not asking about whether it rained heavily in Ayodhya, whether everything is fertile, whether your treasury is overflowing. Such questions he is asking later on. First, he is asking about this kind of religious questions. Now he is asking about Agni. He says, whenever you are doing Agnihotram, is the Brahmana in charge of Agnihotram alerting you in time, at the time of offering Habis? Are you present? Then are you according due respect to Devatas, Pitrus, Acharyas, elders, doctors, servants, Brahmanas, or ministers maintaining confidentiality of your royal plans? Is there any leaking? Are you consulting the right people before you make any decision? Are you ensuring that your decisions are not leaked out? Are you implementing your plans fast before the plans get leaked out and before they become futile? Are you implementing the plans fast? Kachit sahasran murkhanam ekamichyati panditam pandito hertakritreshu kuryan nishreyasam mahat. Compared to 1,000 murkhas, 1,000 fools, a pandita, a wise man should be preferred. Are you doing that? Because it is pandita who will help you in time of crisis, in time of emergency, not fool. Are you ensuring that your ministers are not too powerful? They are not imposing undue punishment on sinners, on criminals. And hence, they will lose the respect of the public. If your minister loses the respect of the public, it is not good for the king. You are not extracting too much of wealth from the public and hence losing respect again. And he is giving an example of losing respect. He says, a Ritvik will lose the respect of the Yajamana if he falls in character. Similarly, you should not lose respect of the public by extracting too much of tax from them. You are not ignoring a clever supporter, a clever and able supporter, and you are not getting surrounded by charlatans who simply praise you. Because one of them may be such a charlatan who will praise you and who will harm you and then who will even grasp your kingdom. He's saying all this. Have you got a good army chief? Have you got a good ambassador? Are you joining Brahmanas who are well read are you in their company? I hope you are not keeping company of Brahmanas devoid of bhakti. Brahmanas who walk the path of non-Vedic methods. See, look at what is now happening today. Is being projected through Rama's words. Are you not supporting Vedikas who are not walking the path of Vedic methods, who indulge in useless debates? We find such things nowadays among Brahmanas. Or your Vaishyas, your working class, are they happy? Or your servants, at a right distance, they should not be able to meet you very easily. There should not be too much of distance also. You should maintain balance, medium. Your state is not driven by money. It should be driven by justice. Are you ensuring that? Yani mithyabhisasthanam patantyashrudi raghava tani putran pashun gnanti prityartham anusasataha. Mithya abhisasthanam. Somebody falsely accused. If somebody is falsely accused and if he sheds tears, Those tears will harm the public, will harm putran pashun ghananti, will harm the children, will harm the cattle wealth, will harm the kingdom. So be careful. Kachit gurushcha vruddhanscha tapasan devatatithene chaityanscha sarvan siddharthan brahmananscha namasyasi. Are you worshipping brahmanas? Are you worshipping gurus, elders, tapasvis, devatas, atithis, guests, vanaprasthas, siddhas? Are you worshipping all of them? Now, after this Bharata's turn, now he is expressing his plea that Rama should come back and run the kingdom, and it is only the eldest who should be the king. You are the eldest and you are the fittest, ablest. He is saying all that. And then he announces Dasharatha is dead. So you should come and become the king. Now, the first time Rama comes to know of Dasharatha's death, Rama and Lakshmana and Sita weep. They go to the Mandakini river, they offer Pindadanam, they offer Jalanjali, Udakadanam. Now, the pindas which he is offering, Kausalya happens to see and she weeps. Why she weeps? Because those pindas are not made of rice. There is no cooked rice available in the forest. Those pindas are made of what is known as ingudi. It's a fruit. The fruit. Now that fruit is being used as a pinda by Rama. Now, is he not violating Shraddha rules? No. Rama himself is giving a shloka in support of what he is doing. श्रुतिस्तु खल्व्यं सत्या लौकिकी प्रतिभाति मे यदन्न पुरुषो भवति तदन्न तस्य देवताः. Whatever food the man is eating, he can offer only that to the devatas. There is nothing wrong with that. He is saying that. Now Kausalya, on seeing Sita, she feels extremely aggrieved. Mukham te prekshe me shako dahati agniriva ashrayam. On seeing your face, my body is burning. Brisham manati vaidehi vyasanarani sambhavaha. Then next day, Bharata continued with his arguments. He gives many similes to a kingdom with no proper king, like we saw before. Narajake Janapade we saw. No? Similar statements he is making here. Mahadevambuvegena birnasya durjalagame duravaram tadanyena rajyakhandamidam mahat. If you have a dam which is not capable of resisting heavy floods, the flood will overrun the dam will break, and then the flood waters will engulf the whole place. That is what is happening to Ayodhya today, because you are not there. Rajya Khandam idam Mahatu, this great Rajya kingdom is without a Raja. Then Rama gives his answers. Natmana Kamaka Rosti Purushoyam Anishwaraha. First he is starting with philosophy. Itashketartashkenam Kritantaha Parikarshati. Kritantaha is Yama. Destiny. It is destiny which decides who should be where. Destiny has brought me here based on dharmic rules. Destiny has kept you as a king in Ayodhya. So it is not you and me who have decided this. It is destiny. Purushoyam Anishwaraha. This destiny does not have any lord. Destiny is all powerful because destiny is itself controlled by the Lord. Sarve kshayantaha nachayaha patananta samuchayaha samyoga viprayoganta maranantancha jivitam. He gives many such statements. All life ends in death. All company ends in separation. Samyoga viprayogantaha. Sarve kshayantaha nachayaha. Today a man is very prosperous. Tomorrow he becomes poor. Patananta samuchayaha. Somebody who is on the top of a hill falls down. So all these things are happening. The ups and downs of life are to be taken as they come lightly. Nandantita aditya nandantastamite atmano nabudhyante manushya jivitakshayam. People feel happy when there is sunrise. People feel happy when there is astamana. Because why they feel happy? When the sun rises, they feel happy. Oh, we have got a day now, we can do work and earn money. When Astamana comes, they feel, we have done our job. Now we can take rest. Tomorrow is going to, another day is going to come. This is how they feel happy. They don't realize when sun rises, he has taken away one day of your life. Similarly, when one night of your life. Similarly, when sun goes into Astamana, you don't realize that he has taken one day of your life. This is what he says. Atmano navabudhyante manusya jivita kshayam yata kashtam cha same yatam aharnabe sametya cha vipe yatam kalamasa adhyaka. It's a very standard example given in all texts of philosophy. It comes in Adhyatma Ramayana also, similar examples. That is, in a river flow, two pieces of logs come together, and after some time they separate. One goes to the left bank, another goes to the right bank. They don't meet again. They were together for some time, then they get separated in the flow of water. That is human life. एवं भार्याश्च पुत्राश्च ज्ञातेश्च धनानि च समेत्य व्यवधावन्ति ध्रुवो केषां विना भवः. ध्रुवो केषां विना भवः. This is certain. You cannot avoid it. So follow father's instructions. He completes his lecture now. He completes his lecture now. He says, our father was a dharmatma. He performed many yajnas during his lifetime. He was known to be, we have seen in the early part of Balakandam, how his kingdom was being run. A beautiful description of his kingdom we have seen. Now he is referring to that. He says, such a dharmatma father has given instruction, you should follow them. Namaya shasanam tasye tiktyam nyayam arindam. Nyayam shasanam. His instruction is pervaded by nyaya, by justice. It is justiciable, what he said. There's nothing wrong with what he said. So, follow what he said. I am going to follow, you should also follow. Tat tvayapi sada manyam savai bandhu sanah pita. He is our father. He is our well-wisher. And he has done justice. Why should you not follow? Now, Bharata praises Rama's equanimity because he talked about a lot of Vedanta philosophy. He says, you can talk all that. Jnana is for you, not for me. Bharata says. All that jnana is, I cannot digest. I am unable to commit matruvadham. Otherwise, I would have committed matruvadham, he says. What he said earlier in Ayodhya, now he is repeating in front of Rama. Dasharatha has done this through anger, through delusion, through boldness, through aggressive boldness. It is not through justice. I don't agree with you, it is justice at all. And if he does something wrong, it is for the son to correct the mistake of the father. Now he is taking a different line of argument. Now, Rama Bharata arguments are full of logic and debate based on logic. Sarga after Sarga follows this kind of arguments. Very nicely brought out by Valmiki. Very cogent arguments. Now he says, Piturhi samatikrantam putroja sadhu manyate tadapatyam matam loke viparita matonyatha. A son who corrects the mistake of the father is a good son. Otherwise, viparita mataha, he is not a good son. Now you are another argument now he is bringing. Now you are a Kshatriya, are you not a Kshatriya? For Kshatriyas at this age, when you are a Grihastha, you have entered into Grihastha ashrama, you cannot become a Vanaprastha. You are leading a Vanaprastha's life. It is prohibited. You can't do that. There is a stage of life when only you can enter Vanaprastha ashrama. You can't do that. That is also not correct. Chaturnam, it's a famous statement about the greatness of Grihastha ashrama. It is oft quoted. Chaturnam ashramanam hi garhastyam shreshtham uttamam ahur dharmagya dharmajyaha tam katham tektum arhasi. Grihastha ashrama is supposed to be the best of the four ashramas. How can you abandon the Grihastha ashrama? He is asking. Tam katham tektum arhati. How can you do that? Why Grihastha ashrama is greatest has been explained by Manu in his Manusmriti and so many other Shastrakaras. Because all the other three ashramas depend on Grihastha for their livelihood. It is Grihastha who provides bhiksha to sannyasi, to a brahmachari, and even to Vanaprastha he helps whenever he wants to perform yajnas, etc. Otherwise, Vanaprastha lives on grains, food grains, left over in the fields after everybody leaves, after the farmer leaves. That's called uncha. Uncha vritti comes from that term actually. Uncha is leftover food grains in the field, and Vanaprastha is supposed to live on them. If he cannot live on them, he will also come for bhiksha to grihastha only, because he has to sustain somehow. For sustenance, you can go and do bhiksha if you cannot have any other means. Shastra permits that. So whom will you go to for bhiksha? Actually, to grihastha. So such a superior grihastha you have left at the wrong time. Now, Rama said in answer to all this, Rinan moche rajanam matkrite bharata prabham pitaram trahi dharmagya mataram chabhinandaya. In one sentence, he has completed the whole thing. He says, whatever you say is all correct. But there is a higher dharma. See, when there are two dharmas conflicting, you have to choose the higher dharma. Whatever he said about grihastha is correct. Whatever he said about son correcting the mistake of the father is correct, provided the father has committed a mistake. First of all, father has not committed a mistake. It is father who has asked me to take up a tapasvi's life for 14 years. He has specified the time limit also. For 14 years, you undergo a tapasvi's life. What is wrong with that? I will come back and enter into grihastha again. So, whatever father has said, that is the rina for us. That is a debt. That debt which father has left for us. Now he has left also, left to the world. It is a debt which we owe to our father. So that debt I must fulfill, you must also fulfill. Rina anmoche rajanam matkrite bharata prabham vetaram trahi dharmagya. Protect your father. Mataram jabhinandaya. Worship your mother. She has done nothing wrong. She only asked for 2 wounds which she is entitled to. What mistake she has committed? Now, he is quoting what Gaya said in Gaya. Gaya is the name of that Raja. That is how Gaya is termed after that king. He took a boon from Vishnu, Gadadhara Vishnu, that whoever performs Shraddha in Gaya, those Pitrus will attain moksha and all that sort of thing. So, now he is quoting, Rama is quoting, Punnam no narakat yasmat pitaram trayate sutaha tasmat putra iti proktaha pitranyapati sarvataha. It is your duty to protect the father's words, protect whatever father stood for. Otherwise, you will go to the naraka called Put. Punnam no narakati yasmate trayate. Putraha, the term putraha comes from Putu namna narakate trayate. Putu trayate. That is how putra comes. Eshtavya bhava putra gunamanto bahushrutaha tesham vai samavetanam api gaschid gayam vrajete. He says, Rama says, bahushrutaha bhavaha putraha gunamantaha. People normally desire to get good learned sons and many sons. Bahushrutaha gunavantaha, virtuous sons, bhavaha, lot of sons. Why? At least one of the sons, in those days it was very difficult to undertake Gaya Yatra. So he says, at least one of the sons will go to Gaya and perform Gaya Shraddha. Tesham vai samavetana api kaschit Gayam rajet. At least one son will go to Gaya. Now, when this Gaya Shraddha and related subject came up for discussion between Rama and Bharata, Jabali was a great Maharshi who was in the audience, who had come along with Vasishtha. Jabali was one of the gurus in Dasharatha's cabinet, along with Vasishtha. So now Jabali stood up and he started speaking like a Nastika. A great Maharshi, he started speaking like a Nastika. Rama could not believe his ears. You know what Jabali said? Now you told something about Gaya and Shraddha and all. What is the Shraddha business? He is asking. What is Shraddha? You are feeding a Brahmana in the name of some Pitru who has left this world. Whatever food you are feeding this Brahmana here, how will it reach that Pitrus? What is this nonsense? If it is possible to feed somebody in his absence through another person, then what you should do, if somebody is going to another place, in those days tiffin packets used to be given for food during journey. Even now we carry food during our train journeys. So he is referring to that. He is saying, when somebody is going away, you are giving a tiffin packet with him. You don't give any tiffin packet. Let him go. In his name, you feed some Brahmana here. In the name of Shraddha, you are feeding some Brahmana. In the name of that person who is going away, you feed this Brahmana. Look at this example. Annasyopadramam pashya, mrutohi kamashishyati, mrutohi kamashishyati. One who is dead, what will he eat? Yadi bhuktam vihanyena deham anyasya gacchati, dadyat prabhasatam shraddham natat patyashalam bhavet. A traveler, you are giving patyashanam, tiffin, to carry. Pratyaksham yattada tishta, paroksham prishthata kuru. Don't do all that. Pratyaksham, you get a Brahmana and feed him. And he also added further insult to injury. He says, all these shastras which you are now quoting were written by Brahmanas for filling their belly, for nothing else. There is no dharma in that. He is saying, Jabali is saying, look at this. Look at what Jabali says. Nowadays, whatever we hear about anti-Sanatana Dharma statements made by so many other groups, you will find same thing here in Ramayana. Shastras were written by Brahmanas for fattening themselves with dhanam. This is his statement. Rama could not control himself. I am giving condensed version. Jabali gave a big lecture. Then Rama listened patiently, and then finally he castigated Jabali in no terms, which he would never do. We know how he treats Brahmanas, how he treats. Jabali is a great Maharshi. He is going to be one of the 8 Maharshis who will coronate him later on during Pattabhishekam. Such a great Maharshi. Jabali is not an ordinary man. The Jabalpur is named after Jabali. Such a great Maharshi. He is taking this argument only to bring out Dharma from the mouth of Rama. That is how we should understand this. Because this gives an occasion for Rama to explain Dharma. Otherwise, how will he explain in so much great detail, which he does now? That is one reason. Second reason is, of course, the obvious reason, making Rama agree to come back to Ayodhya. This is one of the plausible arguments, So Rama said, Veda is the only authority. You are not the authority. Shastras have been written based on Veda, and Vedas are based on Satya. Satya means eternal truth. Vedas speak eternal truth, and Shastra is based on Vedas. So whatever Shastra says about Shraddha is eternal truth. You and I cannot change it. Dharma Satya Paroloke Moolam Sarvasya Chochate. Satyameva. On Satya he is reeling out a lot of verses. Satyameveshwaro loke satye dharma sadashritaha satyamulani sarvani satyannasya parampadam. दस्तमिष्टम हुतम चैव तत्तानि च तपांसि च वेदात् सत्यप्रतिष्ठानाः तस्मात् सत्यपरो भवेत्. दत्तम इष्टम हुतम चैव, whatever you give in dana, whatever habits you give in ahuti, whatever tapas you perform, they are all based on Veda, and Veda talks only about Satya. Tasmat satyaparo bhavet. Always believe in Veda, believe in truth. Nindamyaham. Now finally he castigates. After telling about Satya, he castigates Jabali. Much against his normal behavior, much against his wish, he is obliged to castigate Jabali. Otherwise he cannot espouse Dharma. Espousing Dharma is greater Dharma today at this point of time. So he says, I don't know how my Dharmatma father Dasharatha kept you in his Guru's cabinet. This is how he says. Nindami aham karma kritam pitustate, which he never does. He says, Nindami aham karma kritam pitu. I am criticizing my father who kept you in his cabinet. Yastwamagrinat vishamastha buddhyam, vishamastha buddhi. Your intellect is crooked. Buddhyani evam vidaya charantam sunastikam dharma pathat apetam sunastikam. You cloak your nastika very nicely. Sunastikam. Cloak your nastika argument in nice words. Dharma pathat apetam, totally deviant from the path of dharma. Then Jabali, of course, smiled because he was only enacting a drama. So he smiled and accepted. that he advocated Nastikavada only to get Rama to Ayodhya and only to listen to Dharma, only to make people listen to Dharma from Rama's mouth. Now, Vasishtha also asked Rama to come back to Ayodhya, saying, the eldest son should always become king. This has been the tradition. Now, that was his argument. This has been the tradition in Ikshvaku family. You cannot break that rule. And there is no proper reason for you to break the rule. This was his argument. Whatever Dasharatha said is not correct. He has broken the rule unnecessarily. That was his argument. Rama gave the standard reply, say, I cannot do anything which is deviating from my father's instructions. That was his standard reply. Then Bharata said, I will offer Satyagraha. I will not go from here. I will undergo Upavasa. Then Rama gave a very nice answer to that. Only a Brahmana can do Satyagraha if the king deviates from Dharma. A Kshatriya cannot do Satyagraha or Upavasa. It's not possible for him. So you are a Kshatriya, you can't do that. Then Bharata then gave another argument. Then he said, okay, you want to honor father's words, I have no problem. I will be in the forest for 14 years, you will be the king. Simple. Whatever 14 years exile he prescribed for you, I will undergo that. You go and assume kingship in Ayodhya. Then Rama said, you cannot exchange like that. Whatever father said, whatever purchase he has done, whatever word he has given, whatever, suppose he has borrowed 1,000 rupees, you have to return that 1,000 rupees to that correct person. You cannot say, I will, instead of 1,000 rupees, I will give something else. Or instead of giving to person A, I will give to person B. You can't do that. You can't change anything. Whatever he has pledged, that pledge has to be kept. What is his pledge? His pledge is, I should be in forest. So he is giving that argument. Vikritam, ahitam, kritam, yat pitra, jivata, mama, natal lopayatum shakyam, ayava, bharatena va. Vikritam, ahitam, kritam. Three subdivisions he makes in transactions. He has purchased, he has sold, or he has pledged. Whatever he has pledged, whatever he has sold, whatever he has bought, that we should maintain. We cannot change anything. Natal lopayatum shakyam, you cannot change either by me or by Bharata. Lakshmi Chandradape Yadva Himavan Va Himam. Now he is making a very stern statement. We have gone through a lot of arguments. Now he is making a very stern statement. He says, no more arguments. This is final. Lakshmi Chandradape Yadva Himavan Va Himam Tejet Atiya Sagaro Velam Lata Pratigyam Maham Pituhu. The ocean may overshoot its boundaries, which never happens. Himavan Va Himam Tejet. The name itself is Himavan. Hima means snow. Himavan may lose snow. Lakshmi Chandradape Yate. Chandra may lose its Lakshmi, lose its shine. I will not violate my father's instruction. Asatya sandasya satashkalasya asthirachetataha naiva devana pitaraha vratichantiti nashrutam. The moment you become asatya sandha, as opposed to satya sandha, the moment you become asatya sandha, whatever puja you do, no deva will come and accept it. Whatever shraddha you do, no pitras will come and accept. He says, Rama says this. Naiva deva na pitaraha pratichanti iti na shrutam. We have heard like this. Satyam cha dharma karma bhumi mimam prapya kartavyam karma yachyavam adnirvayusta somashke karmanam phalabhaginaha. Today Agni is occupying the position of Agni. Vayu is occupying the position of Vayu. They are all positions. They are all devas. How did they reach those positions? Because they were truthful. Satyam. Karmanam phalabhaginaha. Because of their karma, they are in the supreme state. Satyam cha dharmam cha parakramam cha bhutanukampam priyavaditam cha dijati devaditi pujanam cha pantanamahuku tidivastyatantaha. If you want to aim at Agni's position, if you want to aim at Deva's position, there is a path which you should follow. What is the path? Satyam, dharmam, parakramam. Parakramam means you should employ your valor in support of the weak. Bhutanukampam, compassion with all life. Priyavaditam cha, speak always pleasingly. Dijati devaditi pujanam cha, worship of Brahmanas, worship of Devas, worship of Atithis, guests, this is the path which you should undertake. So, we have gone through a long passage of arguments on dharma. Finally, Bharata had to yield. There was nothing more is left. So he said, okay, now at least you mount these padukas. He had brought the padukas. Mount these padukas and give me these padukas. But Vasishtha also agreed. Vasishtha said, Sodhirukya narab vyagraha paduke vyamuchite prayakshatta mahateja bharataya mahatmane. He mounted those padukas and he gave the padukas to Bharata. Bharata took those padukas on his head and started walking back. And he decided to stay not in Ayodhya, outside of Ayodhya in a place called Nandigramam, just outside Ayodhya, outskirts of Ayodhya. And he decided to wear his matted tresses, his jata, and he will lead a tapasvi's life like Rama, and he will eat only fruits, phala ahara. All this is mentioned in Rama. Only phala as ahara. And Padukas will be the king. Bharata will not be the king. Padukas will be the king. He decided like that. And he also made a pledge at that time, and he made it known to Rama and everybody else. He said this before he left Rama's presence. He said, I will wait exactly for 14 years. At the end of 14 years, if you do not come back and assume kingship, I will enter fire. Then Rama told Bharata not to show any anger towards Kaikeyi. Look at this. Even at this point of time, when so much of argument has happened, a lot of tension had been built in the atmosphere. Now Bharata is leaving very sadly, but happily that at least Padukas have granted. At this point, Rama is not forgetting to tell Bharata not to ill-treat Kaikeyi. Don't ill-treat Kaikeyi, he says. Kaikeyi, there is no fault on Kaikeyi's part. What is the fault? She asked for 2 boons which she is entitled to. Well, Dasharatha kept his word. Dasharatha, in fact, if you look at Ramayana, Dasharatha has proved to be a Satyasandha even greater than Rama, because Rama kept the father's instruction, words, and then went to the forest. Whereas Dasharatha sacrificed his life, separated from Rama, for the sake of keeping those 2 boons. That is what now Rama is bringing out to Bharata. So this is caused by Kaikeyi. There is nothing wrong. Kaikeyi has done nothing wrong here. Then on the way, Bharata, on the way to Ayodhya, had darshan of Bharadwaja Maharshi, who praised him. He gave him accolades. Then Ayodhya, now Valmiki describes Ayodhya as moon struck by Rahu, that is during eclipse. This is the example he gives. Now Bharata goes to Nandigramam. Etadrajyam mama bhratra dattam sanyasamuttamam yogakshema vahe cheme paduke hema bhushite. This gold plated padukas will be the king. Yogakshema vahe cheme. They will bestow yoga and shema to the praja, to the citizens. Yoga is obtaining something which we don't have. Shema is protecting what we already have. This is the difference between yoga and shema. So he says, Yogakshema vahe keme paduke hema bhushite. This paduka has been given to me out of compassion by my brother, Mama Bhratra Dattam. Then Bharata performs Paduka Pattabhishekam. Whatever Pattabhishekam was supposed to be done for Rama as Yuvaraja, Paduka Pattabhishekam is done by Bharata in Nandigramam. Nandigramam is the seat of kingdom for the next 14 years. And Bharata takes all decisions in consultation with Padukas. This is explained in Ramayana. He doesn't take any decision on his own, using his own intellectual prowess. No. He goes to the Padukas, he says, this is the decision I'm going to take. Do you agree? If he gets the agreement, he proceeds. Like this, every day. This was the routine for him, because he was living in Nandigramam. In the presence of Padukas, he spent his life. for the next 14 years. Paduka Pattabhishekam was done grandly with Vasishtha leading the Purohit group, and Rama's presence, Rama's blessings were invoked in the Padukas, and it was Padukas who were the king. Now, Padukas, there was a mention at the beginning of this lecture by Vivek. Now, the greatness of Padukas. In our tradition, Padukas, particularly Guru Padukas, Guru's Padukas, have an importance greater than even Gurus. Now, Adi Shankara in his Guru Paduka Stotram mentions this, that Padukas, being Padukas, they are more compassionate than Guru. Guru may sometimes be strict, he has to be strict with his disciple at times. Whereas Paduka, this is like Shiva and Shakti. Shakti is compassion incarnate, whereas Shiva will be a little strict. He has to be strict. Similarly, between Guru and Paduka, that is why Paduka is termed as a Devi, Paduka Devi. Paduka Sahasram, Vedanta Deshika has written 1,000 shlokas in praise of Padukas, Paduka Sahasram. Paduka Devi is worshipped in Vaishnava tradition. Paduka Devi's worship is very, very elaborate. In our tradition, we have the Shankara Padukas and our Guru Padukas being always worshipped, and they are known to shower compassion without any discrimination, without looking for any virtue in us. They will shower compassion and they will give their blessings for whatever we ask. This is the belief and this is the experience of all devotees in the case of all gurus and all disciples. Only thing is, your bhakti towards the Guru and the Paduka should be sincere, should be unwavering. Now, I think we saw during our lectures in Common Dharma, even if somebody makes a critical remark about our Guru, we are supposed to go and pull out his tongue. If we cannot do that, obviously we cannot do that today, we have to immediately leave his presence. We should not continue in his presence. Guru Ninda, we should never listen. Ishvara Ninda, we should never listen. Guru Ninda, definitely we should not listen. Even Ishvara Ninda, Ishvara may pardon us. Guru can get the pardon of Ishvara for any violation which we commit in respect of Ishvara. But if we commit any violation in respect of Guru, Ishvara will not intervene. This is expressed very clearly in Guru Gita. Ishvara will never intervene if you transgress in respect of Guru. So, Guru means ultimate in everything. Guru Paduka is equally to be venerated, and as I said, Paduka Devi more compassionate than Guru. So, the next is what happens in Chitrakoot, where the tapasvis feel troubled because of Rakshasas. That opens a different chapter and it takes us to Aranyakandam. So I think we will keep it for the next lecture. Is there any question further to what we discussed?
மாமா நமஸ்காரம். அடுத்த வாரம் வந்து மகாபிரிவா ஆராதனை வருது இல்ல, அந்த ஒரு டாபிக்கும் ஒரு நான் பண்றேன்னு இருக்கேன் நீங்க. சோ அடுத்த வாரம் ராமாயணம் 2 நாள் ராமாயணம் இருக்குமா? 2 நாள் ராமாயணம் இருக்கு. ஆமா. ஓகே. என்ன what is your point? I thought நீங்க வந்து மகாபெரிவா ஆராதனை ஏதோ போட்டுருந்தீங்க, அதுக்கு பெரியவாளை பத்தி பேச போறீங்க. இல்ல what was mentioned, no what was mentioned was this series of Ramayana lectures was supposed to be conclude on that day, Mahaperiyva's Aradhana day, but it's not going to conclude now as we have decided to extend it further, but we will continue with Ramayana as usual. Otherwise we will be losing time. Okay. Thank you, Baba. Any questions? No, mama.
No questions, Mama, but very, very interesting. So nicely going, Mama. அப்படியே அழகா நன்னா போயிட்டு இருக்கு, Mama. It is so interesting and nice, Mama.
Oh, thank you. And I want to ask Vivek. He had a question about was Rama giving proper reply to Bharata? I hope the question has been answered.
இல்ல வந்துருது மாமா, எல்லாமே சால்வ் ஆயிடுது.
எல்லாம் சால்வ் ஆயிடுச்சு. I thought so.
இது பெர்ஃபெக்ட் செக்மெண்ட். அதே மாதிரி இந்த ஜாபாலியும் ரொம்ப நல்லா இருந்தது. இது கிருத்தம் இது கிருத்வா கிருத்தம் பிபேத் சூப்பர். இது இப்போ மெட்டீரியலிஸ்டிக் சார்வாகா
தியரி. கரெக்ட். Okay, so we close for the day. Nama Parvati Pataye Har Har Mahadeva Janaki Kanta Smaranam Jai Jai Rama Rama Shri Mahatripura Sundarye Jai Jaya.
Thank you, Mama. We are really enjoying the pace at which this is.
Thank you, Mama.
Really
Thank you,
very
Mama.
nice.
What did you say about the pace?
No, your pace is exactly perfect. I mean, just to assimilate. Normally, if you sit for a satsang, we absorb, and it's very conducive to absorb everything in the space.
Mama, in fact, அடுத்த வாரம் 6 ல இருந்து 8 before you நம்ம சத்சங் ஆரம்பிக்கு முன்னாடி will be doing மகாபெரிவா ஆராதனா on this same platform. So perfectா இருக்கும். உங்க சத்சங் வந்து கரெக்ட்டா முத்தாயிப்பா.
What are you doing for ஆராதனா? What are you doing?
ஆராதனா மாமா வந்து இங்க ஒரு மாமா இருக்காரு. வாட்ல 3 பாதுகை இருக்கு. சோ பாதுகை லைவா தரிசனம் பண்ணிட்டு we will do some Vedic Upanishad chanting. அப்புறம் குழந்தைகள் நிறைய ஸ்லோகம் சொல்ல போறா. பெரியவா அந்த சாஸ்திரதல சிலபஸ்ல கத்து கொடுத்த சத்குரு தசகம், அப்புறம் தோட்டக அஷ்டகம், இல்ல குரு அஷ்டகம் எல்லாம் சொல்ல போறா.
Very nice, very nice.
அப்புறம் கொஞ்சம் பஜனை அந்த
பெரியவா மேல you have between 6 to 8?
6 to 8 மாமா உங்களுக்கு அனுப்புறேன்.
அனுப்புங்க. 6 to 8 உங்க டைம்.
எங்க டைம். Yeah, I will it's going to be a little 6 to 8, or we don't want to cut it too short that it interferes into this program, or but maybe that might be better if we start at 6:30. If we don't take a break, we directly go into Mama's program.
I think that may be a very good idea.
Yeah.
That may be very good.
That's nice. Yeah, that's nice.
That's great. Okay, great Vivek. அனுப்பிச்சுடுங்க நீங்க.
Thank you, Mama.
Bye.
In fact, அடுத்த வாரம் குழந்தைகள் எல்லாம் பாடுவா மாமா. நான் உங்களுக்கு முதல்ல லிங்க் அனுப்பிச்சு விட்டுறேன்.
Sure, very good, very good.
Okay.
Thank you.